All right, everybody. Fundamentals of Fitness workout number 9. We are back. We've got the technological issues figured out, and I'm going to be with you for another follow along workout. The clock is running, and we're going to get right to it. We are at the final workout of week 3. We've done full body work in a 3-to-1 work to rest ratio, 60-second intervals of 20 seconds of rest. We've been doing full body movements and including one of each of the fundamental movement patterns in each. We've been working up to our ultimate goal being the Turkish Getup this week, which is the best all-around full body exercise. We're going to do that today, and then we're going to hit you next week with some hard and fast stuff to really finish off our workout program. So let's get to it. We're going to really focus on the hips today because we've been doing a lot of lower body stuff. So I'm going to start with hip controlled articular rotations. Now I'm going to do this standing with some assistance from the rack. You can do this standing in a doorway, or we can do this on the floor. Okay. In quadruped. So on your hands and knees, you can do the same thing. We're going to pull our left knee up into as much flexion as we can get. So up to our chest. Okay. From here, I'm going to go out to the side as far as I can go. Bring that heel up towards the ceiling. And I'm going to keep rotating that heel up towards the ceiling as I bring this leg around behind. So now that heel's coming out. So my hip is internally rotated back into flexion. I'm going to keep that rotation there as I extend. Then I'm going to unwind with the knee back to the front and down. And I'm going to switch sides and repeat. Okay. This is basically what you're trying to do is draw the biggest circle that you can possibly get with your knee. So I'm twisting my hip. I'm turning my hip inward. Ankles coming outward. I'm going to come in and then reverse as far back as I can get it to go. And I'm trying to keep my torso as upright and static as possible and down. Perfect. And now I'm going to go back to that left side. I'm going to do it again. I'll do the next round on the ground, and you can see which one you like best. And then I'll probably come back up into standing for the final round if we end up getting 3 rounds in. So really focus on the extension, internal rotation. Keep that ankle wound up so you can see I'm twisting inward as I come up, and now I'm going to unwind as I come up and out. Perfect. Same thing here. Right side, we're going to do 2 reps per side. I like to alternate to give the joints a little bit of time to cool down in between each rep. And really what we're trying to do here is get as much access to the hip as we possibly can. Okay, so now we're going to do lateral hinges. So this is a component of the Turkish Getup. Okay, we've been really working on the Turkish Getup. We're going to finish the Turkish Getup today. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 6 reps on each side, and we're going to get into that tall kneeling position. So this is the Turkish Getup position where we've got that foot swung in behind us. We've been working on that. I'm going to put my left arm up in the air, and I'm just going to hinge to the left, put my palm on the ground, and then come back up and through. Hinge to the left, palm the floor, up and through. Hinge to the left, so hips come back stays flat. I'm keeping this up in the air like I'm balancing a glass of water on my fists. Okay? This is a big component of the Turkish Getup, and it can be a little bit of an awkward movement, so we're putting it into the warm-up to get a little bit of muscle, muscle memory going, prime the movement pattern. It's also a great mobility drill for the outside of this hip, good stability drill for the core. And the next round, I'm going to go down onto my elbow. So I'll increase the range of motion to increase the mobility challenge. So 6 reps per side. So again, over here, bounce glass of water on the fist, hips come back. I want to come until I can get a soft palm to the floor and then back up. So I'm going to hinge, hips come back, palm to the floor, eyes on the dumbbell. or what would be the dumbbell in the Turkish Getup. Active up overhead, twist and rotate, keeping this front foot flat and planted. Okay, we always want to maintain contact with that front foot. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, and now finally, we're going to do some PAILS rails, or progressive angular isometric loading, regressive angular isometric loading, which is an absolute mouthful, for the hip flexors. So you need a box bench step to elevate your rear foot. Okay, kind of like you're going to do a Bulgarian split squat, and you're going to want a pillow for your knee. Okay, so we're going to get into this Bulgarian split squat position, rear foot elevated. And now what I want you to do is start gently pressing your back foot into the box. So you're contracting your quads, pushing your back foot into the box, just gently. Okay, and we're pushing, just nice and soft, maybe 25% of your max effort. And we're going to ramp that up to about 50% now. We're going to keep contracting. Push, push, push. Okay, now I'm going to ramp that up to about 75%. Push, push, push. 80%. 90% now. I want you to, with as much effort as you can, push that foot into the box bench, couch, ottoman behind you. And now what I want you to do is try and bring your heel to your butt. Squeeze as hard as you can. And if you're like me, it's not going to move very far, but I want you to squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that back foot as hard as you can to your butt, and hold that. Hold it, and then relax. And I want you to push your hips forward and get a little bit more stretch in the front of the hip. Fantastic. Let's switch sides and we'll repeat. PAILS rails can be a little bit tricky to get at first, but we're going to get through it together. It's an excellent stretching strategy to do these opposing contractions. So here we are, right legs up. We're in that stretch position. So you're standing up, sitting upright, pushing your hips forward, feeling that stretch in the front of the leg. Now I'm going to push with 20% effort back into the box. So I'm pushing with this heel into the box bench, step, couch, ottoman. Okay, about 50% now, pushing into the box bench step. And as you push, you should feel a little bit more stretch in the front of the thigh. That's natural. About 75% now. 80, 90, max effort. You're pushing as hard as you can into that box bench step, couch. Push, push, push. Now I want you to try as hard as you can to pull that heel off. You're trying as hard as you can to get your heel off the box. It's not going to go anywhere. You're not going to be able to, if you're doing this right, you won't be able to actually pull your heel off the box, but you're squeezing as hard as you can and holding. And now I want you to lean back, get a little bit more stretch, totally relax, and we'll finish that there. Okay, that's round one. We're going to get 2 rounds of warm-up in. Now I'll show you what the cars look like, controlled articular rotations from the floor. So now this being easier, I'll do both reps on each side, okay, in succession. So bringing that knee up as high as it can go, out as far as it can go. Ankle comes up to the sky. You draw that knee out and around behind you. Bring it in. Reverse, keeping that ankle out, up to the top. Now that ankle starts to come in. You're unwinding that hip. Big fire hydrant, range of motion. Down and in. Catch your breath. And now I'm going to repeat. Knees up and out. Ankle turns up and out. Wind it all up and in. Now I'm going to reverse. All the way up and out. If you're doing controlled articular rotations correctly, you will feel like you're doing some significant work. So here we go with the left side. Bringing this in, I want you to try and push for as much range of motion as your body will possibly allow. So that means I want you to really, really push to contract every muscle around the hip and scour up as much range of motion as you possibly can with each repetition, and you should feel like you get a little bit more control, a little bit more range of motion with each rep. Very good. Okay, lateral hip hinges now. So swinging that back leg in behind. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and get my elbow down to the mat, all the way down, dig into the hips. Now, if that's too far for you, just go to the hand, okay? But I'm gonna try and laterally hinge all the way down, really get into the hip, really work on that shoulder mobility. 6 reps per side, not losing my foot contact here, and also still balancing a glass of water on my hand. One more rep on this side. And switch. Okay, so same thing here. I'm going to swing that back leg behind. So this is a tripod position. Arm goes up overhead. I am hinging down to my elbow, up and through the hips. Hinging down to the elbow, up and through the hips. If that's too hard, stick with variation from round 1 warm-up, just to the hand. We're really trying to prep that hip stability, range of motion, down to the elbow, up and through, down and in, up and through. One more rep. Hips come down and back, up and through. Excellent. Final exercise, and then we're gonna get to the warm workout. We're doing hip flexor, PAILS rails. So again, cushion for the knee, nice big stretch for the quads. So you're pushing the hips forward, getting set up here, gently pushing back into the box, about 20%. We're gonna ramp this one up a little bit quicker this time. So about 50% now, pushing back into the box. So you're trying to contract the quads, push that, kick that box away behind you. 75%, 100% max effort, kick into the box, kick into the box. Ooh, I got to move the box. Nice. Kicking, kicking, kicking. Now pull your heel off and do your best to squeeze the hamstrings. Pull that heel up, 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 up. Pull, pull, pull. And then lean back into the stretch, relax your body. And now I can already feel and see in the mirrors in the studio here, I've got so much more range of motion in the hip. Front of the hip's getting so much more opened up. I can get that pelvic tuck under without as much tension. And switch sides, repeat, other side. Get that rear foot elevated. Get into that stretch position. So tuck the tail, hips come forward. You're gonna push into the box just gently. Ramping up about 50% now. 75%. 80, 90, max effort, push, 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 back into the box, push, push, push. Now try and pull that heel off, heel to the butt, pull, pull, pull. Again, you're not gonna be moving here, but you're trying as hard as you can to pull that heel. Now relax back into the stretch, stretch a little bit more. You'll feel that range of motion open up. Good work. Okay, so workout, here we go. Final workout in this week. We're sticking with that 6 exercise circuit, 60 minutes, 60 seconds on, 20 seconds off. First exercise is going to be a shoulders elevated glute bridge. So make sure you have a surface to elevate your shoulders, a couch, a chair, box, bench, step. We're going to go body weight, and then we're going to do loaded, and then we're going to do pulsing, which is time under tension in the final rounds for our variations. And then the next move is going to be the push-up. So lots of awesome fundamental movements here. So with the shoulders elevated glute bridge, you want to make sure you get those shoulders right up on top of the box, okay? If you're down here, you're going to feel like the box is slipping. So get those shoulders all the way up, sink through the hips, bridge up to the ceiling, keeping that pelvis tucked underneath. So as you come down, I want you to think about maintaining that posterior pelvic tilt, keeping your tail tucked all the way down, bridge through, and I want you to bridge through a flat foot. So I want your feet to be flat on the ground, bridging all the way up, squeezing at the top, keeping that tail tucked. And what I mean by the tail tucked is this is what will happen. See how my low back arches, and especially as I come down, see how my pelvis is dropping? Okay, I want to prevent that. Keep that tail tucked all the way up, all the way down, all the way up and down. Keeping that tail tucked. Fight for that pelvic position. We've really built that fundamental in through our carry variation, which is where we're going to get most of our work in on that pattern. Beautiful. Good work. 20-second break. Getting those glutes fired up. Now, we're going to be doing push-ups. I'm going to start with hands elevated push-up. This is the easiest push-up variation. If you elevate your hands high enough, anyone should be able to do this movement, okay? So elevate the hands, get into that nice pelvic position. So tuck the tail, and then arms tight to the sides, push up and through. I don't want to see the elbows flare, okay? Keep those arms nice and tight to the sides. Let's really work that good plank position. This is one of the best full body pressing movements. Works the core, works shoulder stability, strength. Lower and control. And we're starting with the easiest variation. Now, if this is too hard, elevate your hands to a higher platform. Okay? So maybe you're doing this from your couch, the seat of your couch. And time. Okay. Sorry about that. A little technical difficulty, ironically. Okay. Single leg, hinge and row. We're going to stick with the same arm, but we're going to change legs 30 seconds through. Hinge, come up to the top. We're going to do a row. Okay? Single leg hinge. We rowed at the bottom the other day. Okay? Now we're rowing at the top. There's the time to switch legs. Same arm. Okay? So lower, come up and through, row with balance, hinge, active back leg, stabilize, high row. Now remember, when we're doing a high row, the elbow does not need to come above the shoulder. We just come to shoulder height, lower, hinge, stabilize yourself, and hit row. Excellent. Okay, we're doing a hinge and row, and so now we're going to go with the opposite side. Okay, so opposite arm is the focus. So I'm going back to my left leg, and I'm going to do hinge, high row, and then at the 30-second mark, we're going to go to the right side. We're going to go hinge, low row. Down, there's the hinge, come up and through, high row, lower. Remember, active back leg. I'm driving that back leg up towards the ceiling. Raise, lower, come through. Whoa. Perfect. High row. Good. Same arm, opposite leg for the next 30 seconds. Hinge through and row. Lower, hinge through and row. Hinge through and row. Keep it coming. Beautiful. Okay. Now, We're going to go to the floor and we're going to be doing our Turkish get up, the full get up on the left side. I'm going to start with body weight. I'm going to load it up in the round 2. Okay, so here we go. Left arm up, left leg up. We're going to roll shoulder, arm, elbow, hand, press through. That's the first half. Bridge, swing, lateral hip hinge from our warm up. Stand right through to tall. Reverse. Lower. Swing that back leg through. Lateral hinge, bridge, through. Forearm, elbow, hand, arm, down. And repeat. Roll. Shoulder, arm, forearm, hand. Bridge. Swing the leg through. Lateral hip hinge. Lunge to stand, keeping that dumbbell, glass of water balanced on your hand. Reverse. Swing that leg behind. Lateral hip hinge from the warm-up. Bridge through the hips. Lower down. Forearm, arm, elbow. Forearm, elbow, arm, shoulder, back. And time. Now we'll go opposite side. Right side, Turkish get up. So the right arm goes up in the air. Balance glass water in your hand. This is a hard first round, getting the heart going. Okay, here we go. Balance that glass of water in your hand. Roll. Arm, elbow, forearm, hand. Bridge through the hips. Swing under. Lateral hip hinge. Step through to standing. Lunge into reverse. Swing that leg behind. Lateral hip hinge. Bridge. Swing. Hand, forearm, elbow, arm, shoulder, down to the ground, and repeat. Roll. Plant. Bridge. Swing. Hinge. Stand. Reverse lunge. Swing that leg behind. Lateral hip hinge. Bridge. Pull through. Lower and control. And repeat. Come up. Bridge. Swing. Hinge. Lunge to stand. Great first round. Good work. Okay, catch your breath, grab a drink, stay hydrated. Now we're gonna add a little bit of load to our glute bridge, okay? So I'm gonna take a single dumbbell, I'm gonna get into position for my glute bridge, and I'm gonna put that dumbbell on my waist. And that'll be where I will hold my pressure. It'll help me force that pelvic tuck or that tail tuck that I've been talking about, kind of that dumbbell pushes down through the belly. And that'll help us with like a little autocorrect for form. We'll get the movement down with weight this round, and then we'll pulse the range of motion next round for time under tension. So here we go. Shoulders elevated, flat feet. I'm gonna bridge all the way up and through. Put your hands on that dumbbell, lower, hands on that dumbbell. And now what you'll find is that that dumbbell forces that pelvic tuck. So it forces you to keep that tail tucked underneath because it's weighing you down as you drop out of the bridge down into the bottom. Now we want to plant with flat feet. Drive through the whole foot. So not just the heels. Sometimes you'll see somebody tell you, okay, push through your heels. I want you to push through your whole foot. Feel that entire foot on the floor. We're keeping shins vertical, effectively doing a deadlift position here. Excellent hip hinge position. Driving through. Hold the top. Time. Great work. Okay, now we did shoulders or hands elevated push-ups last round. Now we're going to do strict push-ups from the ground. Okay, so this would be the second hardest variation. If you struggle with the hands elevated push-ups last round, go to a higher elevation for the hands. If you're good to go, stick with me here. As always, tuck the tail, set it up from the toes, come up on the toes here. Forearms stay vertical at the sides, lower and press through. Keeping that tail tucked, forearms vertical, tight to the sides, press through. I don't want to see something like this, okay? And I don't want to see the forearms going at 45-degree angles. Keep those forearms locked in, all in the chest, elbows tight to the sides, and we're pushing up, lowering in control, pushing through. Just consistent, slow and steady push-ups. We're trying to maintain 60 seconds of good repetitions. And time. Great work. That is tough. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do a single leg hinge and clean. So we've done these before. We're going to stay on the same arm, but we're going to change legs throughout. Okay, so instead of a high pull, I'm going to do a clean. Okay, so single leg hinge, left arm, left leg, raise up, pelvis is flat. I'm not opened up, right? Keep this shut, pull through, find your balance. And now I'm going to snap into a clean, lower in control, and repeat. Single leg hinge. Up through the hips, snap into a clean, catch your balance. Lower in control. Down. Hinge and clean, okay? 30 seconds, we're gonna switch legs, not arms. So now we're right leg, left arm, hinge and clean. Find your balance. It's a little bit of a different feel each time you change the movement. Hinge and clean. If this is too tough for you, just go back to the hinge and high row. Okay, so that's where we come to this position. Row up here, lower, and clean. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is go back to the left leg, and now we're switching to the right arm. We'll switch legs halfway through the next interval. Focus on the right arm throughout. Next time we come around to the single leg hinge and row, we're going to do single leg hinge, clean, and press. So we're going to be going full tilt, full body. Left leg, right arm, hinge, up, and clean. Lower. Hinge, up, and clean. Find your balance each time, really smoking the glutes and that single leg stability. Single leg, hinge, and clean. Okay? Good work. Switch legs. So same arm, different leg, hinge, and clean. Different balance challenge. Now we're working a totally different group of stabilizers. Woo! Find your balance. Lower in control. Now, if this single leg hinge is still an issue for you, we'll just go to kickstand, single leg hinge to clean. So kickstand, single leg hinge to clean. So you can use that back foot as a little bit of a stability factor. Okay, Turkish get-ups. Full body, left arm, left leg to start. And we're going with dumbbell loaded now. So dumbbell loaded. Lock it in. Roll, shoulder, arm, elbow, hand, bridge, swing, hinge, stand, keeping that arm locked out, ribs down, abs crunch, reverse lunge, swing that leg behind, lateral hip hinge, bridge, swing through, and we're lowering slowly in control to the back. Repeat, roll, shoulder, elbow, forearm, hand, bridge, swing the leg through, hip hinge, lunge to stand, reverse lunge, swing that leg behind, lateral hinge, bridge, swing through, lower in control, keep it coming, start one more rep here, and hinge, excellent work. Full body fundamental movement pattern. It's one of every one of those fundamental movements. Fantastic full body exercise. And all we need to do is 2 reps there in that minute interval. That's plenty of effort. Okay, here we go. Right side, almost done. Roll, shoulder, arm, forearm, hand, bridge. Swing the leg through, lateral hip hinge, lunge to stand. Lock out that arm overhead, ribs down, abs crunch. Don't lose that carry portion. Whoa, little slippery. Reverse lunge. Swing that leg in behind. Lateral hip hinge. Bridge with your hand. Swing the leg through. Elbow, shoulder, back. Repeat. Roll, press. Bridge, swing, hinge, lunge to stand. Ribs down, abs crunch. Rocking that carry position. Reverse lunge. Swing that leg behind. Lateral hinge. Bridge. Swing the leg through. And lower and control. Time. Great effort, everybody. That is a hard exercise. Full body. I'm feeling the fatigue. I'm feeling the strength portions, strength gains coming in this workout big time. Big time, big time. Okay. Now, final round. Glute bridges for 1 minute. We're going to load up with weight and we're going to pulse range of motion. So that means I'm not going to stop at the top or the bottom. I'm going to just continuously move for 1 whole minute or until I fatigue and I need to have a little rest. So that means no stopping at the bottom of the movement, no stopping at the top. You just keep rolling through. I'll show you what I mean here. We're going to load up with that weight, shoulders elevated. So remember, shoulders all the way up on the box, pushing through the whole foot. I'm just going to stop a little bit short of the top and a little bit short of the bottom. And I'm just going to keep moving my hips continuously throughout the round. So nonstop at the top or the bottom. I'm not maxing out the range of motion. I'm not going all the way to the bottom or all the way to the top. I'm just continuously pumping throughout that range of motion. Really burning out those glutes. Making sure you squeeze through. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. If you've got to stop, stop at the top. Stop at that peak contraction and rest at that peak contraction. Otherwise, keep that dumbbell moving. Keep those hips bridging, pumping through. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. 3 seconds. And time. Woo. Okay, push-up variation. We've done hands elevated. We've done regular push-ups. Now the hardest variation will be feet elevated. Not sure if I'll get 60 seconds in this round, but I'm certainly going to try my best to do 60 seconds foot elevated push-ups. If you want to stay on hands elevated or shoulders elevated or regular push-ups, you stay on those and do your best. Here we go. Slow and controlled reps. Oh, wow, that got tough. I couldn't talk very well. I had to just focus on the movement. That's okay. Hands, feet elevated push-ups, by far the most difficult variation. Okay, so sticking with the left arm, switching legs 30 seconds through. We're gonna go single leg, hinge, clean, and press. Okay, Single leg hinge, left arm, left leg, clean, press overhead, lower, and repeat. Single leg hinge, clean, press, lower, and lower. Single leg hinge, clean, press, balance on that one leg. If you have to kickstand and then clean through and press from standing, that's fine. Now I'm going to switch legs, not stopping. Clean, press, find your balance. Single leg hinge, whoa. Clean, and press. Starting to get fatigued here. Single leg hinge, clean, press. Left arm is getting fatigued. One more rep. Hinge, clean, press. Time. So now we go right arm. We'll go right arm, left leg, right arm, right leg. And then we'll be done with the single leg hinge and cleans. Catch your breath. It's getting intense this round. Heart rate is high. Challenge level is high. Okay. Right arm, left leg. Single leg hinge, clean, and press. Now again, variation. Single leg hinge with a kickstand. Clean to standing, press, lower, single leg hinge with a kickstand. Okay? It's all there. Anybody can do this. Any level of fitness, this can get done. You don't even need to do the clean and press. You can go back to our previous variation of single leg hinge, high row with support. Now we go right arm, right leg. Arm stays the same, leg switches up, and press. Single leg hinge, clean, press. Single leg hinge, clean, press. Whoa, 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 catch the balance, fight for it. You're starting to fatigue here, so fight for every ounce of perfection that you can. Great job, everybody. Turkish get-ups. We're gonna get 2 quality reps in on each side. We're gonna add an overhead press at the top and a floor press at the bottom. Okay, so here we go. Left arm up, left leg up. I'm gonna start with floor press, press. Now roll, shoulder, arm, elbow, forearm, hand. Bridge, swing, lateral hip hinge, stand, overhead press, ribs down, abs crunch, reverse lunge, swing behind, lateral hip hinge, bridge through, swing through, down in control to the floor, floor press, roll, shoulder, elbow, forearm, hand, bridge, swing, hinge, stand, woo, getting smoked out here, overhead press, omit the presses. If the Turkish get-up is too tough, we're pushing it a little bit here. It's the final round. So if it's too tough, just leave the presses out of it. One more floor press and time. Wow, 2 reps is all you need when the exercise is that good. Okay, one more round. One more exercise here. Turkish get-up right side. Here we go, 60 seconds, 2 quality reps. Floor press to get us started. Roll, shoulder, arm, elbow, forearm, hand, bridge, swing through, lateral hip hinge, lunge to stand, overhead press, reverse lunge, keeping that arm locked out, swing that leg in behind, lateral hip hinge, bridge, swing the leg through, forearm, elbow, arm, shoulder, back, floor press, repeat, roll, press through, bridge, swing through, hinge, step through, reverse lunge, and hinge, bridge, and swing, lower, in control. I forgot the press on that one, that's fine. Floor press, and hold the weight in that position. Time. That is the workout
Wow, that is a hard one. Whew. I am pooched. That is tough. Excellent job, everybody. Excellent job. Doing something like that that's so full body, challenging variations, exercises that work on the fundamentals with perfect form and technique. It's hard to beat any of that. It's hard to find something that's more challenging from a mental standpoint and a physical standpoint. I know that picking the right weight, I now feel smoked across the shoulders, the chest. I just used one single dumbbell today. It was 25 pounds of my body weight. That was plenty. That is an excellent workout. I'm feeling great. Okay, now I want you to do two things here for some cool down. Grab a door jam. I obviously have got the pull-up rack, which I'm grateful to have, but it's not necessary. You can do, just wrap your fingers around a door jam up here, okay, around the trim, and just let a little bit of your weight hang from that position, okay? So obviously you're not gonna be able to dead hang from your door jam, but let the weight of your body distract your shoulders, okay? So we're just decompressing the spine a little bit here. I'm gonna go ahead and just dead hang completely. So I've got my weight up off the ground. If you have a pull-up bar at home, you can totally do this. Little dead hang, great stretch for the chest and the lats. If your arms or grip get tired, just put your feet down. But you want at least 50% of your body weight hanging from your hands. Again, door jam version, curl your fingies, get them up above that door jam, and just let a little bit of your weight hang from your fingertips from the door jam there. And we're just gonna hang out in this position for a little bit. Dead hang, decompress the spine. I like to shimmy my hips around a little bit, twist my weight side to side, feel it out. And what we're gonna do here in about 30 seconds, we're gonna go to a sink stretch, where I want you to find a countertop, the back of a couch, the back of a kitchen chair. We call it a sink stretch because often the bathroom sink is an excellent place to do this stretch. So grab that countertop with your hands, sink your hips back until your arms are straight out in front of you, hip hinge position, and then just shift your weight side to side, feeling through the lats and the hips, what's tight. Right there, it seems to be a nice little problem spot for me. And we're just gonna spend a few minutes here, going back and forth. Sometimes I like to step forward. If my sink is high enough, we get into a little bit of a deep squat, feel that out. Come back up, hip hinge. You can also do repetitions. So you can stand up, sink down into the stretch, come back up and through, and repeat. So I'm gonna do a couple repetitions here, just feeling it out, trying to get nice and lengthy through the lats and shoulders. We did a lot of shoulder stuff today, very shoulder focused and emphasis. So we just wanna make sure we take care of those guys. Now, you will have a mobility and recovery workout coming at you over the next couple days. I would encourage you to at least perform that one time over the course of your weekend, if not twice. And I would also encourage you to pick one of the previous mobility and recovery workouts and throw it in on one of your off days. So if you're training Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can do one of our 20 to 30 minute mobility and recovery sessions on Tuesday and Thursday, as well as over the weekend. Keep your body feeling good, keep your joints moving, prevent injuries, and allow you to train sustainably for the rest of our program, which is 3 more workouts, 1 more week. We are almost there. You guys have done a great job to this point. Keep sticking with us, keep grinding it out. We'll be back with workout number 10 shortly.